Plenty of Florida State fans and plenty of Gators fans here. You can get your fix here at the Players as well. One of the key matchups for Monday night. We will get things started with freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence. This time of the year right now, give the Jaguars about a B or B+. One thing you guys have to try when you come down here to the Coach. Just under half of JU's baseball roster played their high school baseball right here on the First Coast. This year, Nice is beating their opponents by an average of over 30 points per game. Can it really be a rivalry if you've never actually beat who you're calling your rival? And check out this stat. In Jaguars' first 4 games of the NFL season, they gave up a total of 12 points in the first half of those games. This beam isn't the only thing that Abby has to balance in her life. Running back Marcus Crowley walked up to me on the sidelines and said, "Hey, you want to see a touchdown?" On the very next snap, that's what he did. Over the last 25 years, every team in the NFL has either built a new stadium, relocated, or spent at least $300 million in renovations. As for the action on the field, they're not going to be out there very long. Getting ready for the IFMA World Championships includes training up to 2 to 3 times per day. Allowing somebody to cut your hair is the ultimate sign of trust. And Brian was responsible for keeping Trey's line razor sharp. Good morning. Later on this afternoon, the Gators will hold their annual orange and blue spring game. For some of the new recruits and younger guys, this will be the very first time that they ever play at the Swamp. As for the action on the field, they're not going to be out there very long. Dan Mullen said that the spring game will last exactly 2 hours. He said, don't really get caught up in who's starting or how many reps a certain guy is getting.
For us, the biggest thing is
just under half of JU's baseball roster played their high school baseball right here on the First Coast. It all starts at the top with head coach Chris Hayes. Played his high school ball just down the road at Inglewood, then went on to play at JU in the early 90s. Hayes has literally been in the same shoes as the kids he's recruiting to play at JU. Last season, the Dolphins made it to the NCAA Regionals. Hayes said the goal this year is for them to get to Omaha. They're currently in second place in the ASUN standings. One of the reasons they've gotten off to that great start is thanks to a couple of contributions from a couple of local guys.
You grow up, basically, it's kind of nice to have things in common with them.
Football will always be king here in the state of Florida, but one sport that's quickly rising is rugby. 3 years ago, a program was started at Westside High School. That's a club sport, so a couple of other high schools have joined the mix. Later on today, the Wolverines will be competing in their very first state title game. I caught up with the team to find out exactly how they got to this point.
Once they get that.
And one more note for you guys. Gators point guard Andrew Nebhart has entered the NBA draft. Don't panic just yet. Looks like he's just testing the waters. He hasn't hired an agent, so as long as he pulls out of the draft by late May, he can then return to Florida for his sophomore season. Hope you guys have a great rest of your morning. I'm Brian Jackson, and that's your sports for now. From the moment you step off the escalator at the renovated Daytona International Speedway, you feel like you've entered a brand new world.
We're just excited to come and see all the changes and watch the race tonight. We're coming back again tomorrow. Just a nicer atmosphere, more family orientated. I think it's great.
Fans who've been coming here for years hardly recognize the place. If you get lost, there's an app for that and a place to recharge your cell phone. The entire stadium has free Wi-Fi, so you can instantly upload pictures to both Facebook and Instagram.
This is a digital animated photo booth. So we ask fans to take 4 pictures, and then it's merged together as an animated GIF. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a little bit different than some of the other photo booths that are out there.
It's an event center is what it is. There's so many things to see and do here. It's really, really nice. I heard on the news last night that it was sold out. That's the first time it's been sold out in years, so evidently they're doing something right.
The final tally for all of the renovations here at Daytona came to a bill of $400 million. And all of those changes are going to lead to an economic impact of $1.6 billion. So it's safe to say, money well spent. Growing up in the 90s, Sister Sister was one of my favorite TV shows. The JU women's basketball team has their own version of that sitcom. Brianna and Jasmine Brown aren't twins, but they just may as well be just as close.
We both were born on a Friday night.
At 8:26 p.m.
No, it's not. It's 8:27.
Okay, 8:27.
27
but
p.m.
Mom was in labor 14 hours with both of us.
Brianna is the older of the Brown sisters. Before holding a clipboard, she used to do this for the Dolphins. That's younger sister Jasmine. She learned that shooting stroke from Brianna, who finished her career as the 4th leading scorer in program history.
I would always come up to the games or come up here and stay with her for a little bit. So I would be around the girls that were here already. So that helped move along, push me more towards JU.
The Browns got to spend 1 year on the court together. Brianna spent the last 2 years as a graduate assistant at Warner University. This season, she returned to JU as an assistant coach.
The biggest thing for Brianna to come into this situation was to come in and understand that she was going to be a coach of Jazz just like she would be a coach of any other kid. And she's done a solid job of that.
When I was offered the position, I think she really understood what it meant for me to be given the opportunity to do what I love. And that's to, be around basketball. And it just so happened to, be even better that I was coming back to be with her as well.
Are you really siblings if you don't at least bicker back and forth a little bit? In the case of the Brown sisters, they figured out how to balance their relationship both on and off the court.
We don't really argue or anything, so I wasn't worried about it being a problem with me. I know now that there's a time and place for her being my sister and her being my coach.
Coach Haney told me that Brianna and Jasmine are both the ultimate competitor, and they just simply don't want to lose. He also said he wouldn't be surprised if Jasmine ends up coaching just like her big sis.